This time I will speak about my favorite 30 and even more of my favorite albums, metal albums of 2020, of this difficult year for all humanity because of the COVID virus. But together with this, we have to say that especially this year, 2020, it was one of the most precious years about metal music. We had so many good new albums, metal albums from all the genres of metal: thrash metal, black metal, death metal, progressive metal, power metal, epic metal. And we had also many groups that came back after so many years: Ozzy Osbourne, AC/DC, but also Psychotic Golds, for example, Benediction, Kirith Uncle, many albums, and that were also very good. So I have to say something also, because of the COVID virus and all the crisis about it. Some albums, I am one of the guys that I listen albums first of all after that I have the physical product in my hands. So I buy the product, and afterwards I can listen it to the internet. Okay, it's my problem, let's say, but I will not from these guys that I'm coming to listen to the album only from the internet. So I have some albums that I wanted that they would be inside my list, but unfortunately, because until now they are in the way to come, I don't have them inside the list of these 30 best albums of the year. So I will start uh, from. I will start the whole video and I will say some words about these albums. So I don't have here the new Sodom album, Genesis 19, if I'm not sure with the Latin number of 19. Also, Drama Noir. Drama Noir is a Greek black metal band. They play something between atmospheric and melodic black metal, and they have influences from the old school black metal Greek scene. For example, from we can listen influences from the old good Rotting Christ and Varathron from Greece, but also we can listen some influences from the old good Cradle Filth and from the old Dimmu Borgir. Very good. And Drama Noir, they made this album in this year, the second album of them, a Necromancy Low. Another band, very great band, epic metal band from Portugal. I'm speaking about Ironsword. And Ironsword, they made a new album by the name Servants of Steel. Also, an American band that in this year I started to listen to them, Spirit Adrift, and they played that in now something as they were even more doom, but now they play something even more heavy metal with influences of Thin Lizzy and Iron Maiden. And their new album, Enlightened in Eternity. And I have to say that the song Screaming from Beyond is of this album is one of the songs that I listen most in this year. Another album also from United States, Wytch Hazel, if I prefer it correct, with their third album, Pentecost. And also they play something as epic metal from the 70s, very big influences of Wishbone Ass of Argus album, and also from Magnum. And they have also the whole concept of the band and of the album is very Christian, and they are great. Another band from Finland, they play a very good style of epic black metal with heavy metal influences, Havakruunu, and their new album Uinuos, Syömein, Sota, something like that. And the new Enslaved album, Hungrand, something like that. Okay, and now let's start with the 30 albums. So first of all, I'm starting with the number 30 and then continue until the first album. So Sorcerer from Sweden, and this is the third studio album of them, the new album Lamenting of the Innocent. Great epic doom metal album, very close to Candlemas, very close to something like Black Sabbath with Martin, but also it's very, very, very great. One band from Finland, and they not became so famous, unfortunately, and with their new second album of them, Antipope, and the album Apostle of Infinity Joy, and they play something between black metal, progressive metal, and gothic metal with a very, very good way. A black metal band from Poland by the name Odraza, and their new album, maybe it's their second album, I'm not very sure. In Polish, Rzeczom, something like that. A very, very great black metal album of this year. An American band of deathcore with some black metal influences inside their music, Lorna Show, and their new album Immortal. Another favorite band of that I like them very much, Midnight. Midnight from United States. They play, or he's playing something that we can call it black and roll, and there his, let's say, new fourth album, studio album, by the name Rebirth by Blasphemy. Now, a band from Sweden that they play something between black and death or melodic black metal with death metal influences, Naglfar. Then continue the way of dissection, the new album Cerecloth, that I prefer it even more from the album Terras that it was one album before some years. A great also band from United States, we can call them groove metal or new wave of American heavy metal, and speak about Lamb of God. Also, they came back in this year with a great album by the name Lamb of God. Great album of them. Another band that came back after so many years from Finland, Fintroll. Fintroll, always they play something between folk metal, black metal, something between, and their new album, great album, with the Finnish name Vredesvävd, if I prefer it also correctly. A new band with their second album from New Zealand, and they play clear speed metal. And I'm speaking about Stälker and their second album, Black Magic Terror. Also great speed metal band and album. Another great band of thrash metal from United States, and speaking about Testament and their new album, Titans of Creation, of course. One of the greatest thrash metal albums of this year, together with the new Sodom, together also, I can say, with Heathen. Even I didn't put Heathen, the new album, Empire of the Blind, inside these albums, and together with the new Sepultura. Great band. Now, black metal from Germany, and I'm speaking about Dark Fortress. Dark Fortress, they play something between atmospheric, between melodic black metal, and in this year they made this very great album by the name Spectres from the Old World. Another band that came back after so many years, and I'm speaking about Demons and Wizards. They play a very good style of power metal. The masterminds of the band, they are the leaders of Blind Guardian, let's say, and of Iced Earth. And their third album, after so many years, by the name 3, the Latin number of 3. Great also album. Now, one band from Israel, and for me this is the greatest album of metal that came from Israel in this year, and I'm speaking about Tomorrow's Rain. Tomorrow's Rain and their album Hollow. They play something between gothic metal and between death doom, if you understand what I'm speaking about. And also here they have some great guests from Moonspell, from Rotting Christ, from My Dying Bride. Great album. The mastermind of the band, Ishai Schwartz, is one of the greatest metalheads inside Israel. Sepultura, yes, Sepultura, with their new album Quadra, and I can say that this album is so great, even more great from all the last Soulfly and Cavalera Conspiracy albums. And now another band from Sweden, also punk and death or melodic black metal with death metal influences, and I'm speaking about Necrophobic and their new album Dawn of the Damned. Also Shimmer from Destruction. Here he makes a guest performance in one of their songs. Another great band that I like them very much, but for many years they don't make so great albums, unfortunately. I'm speaking about Gravedigger from Germany. And in this year they made a very good album, Fields of Blood. This is the third part of a schedule about the wars of the Scottish people, of the Scots against the British, against England. A great album. Also here they made a metal ballad by the name Thousand Tears, and they brought as a guest the female singer of the Finnish band Battle Beast. And now, one band from the United States that we can say that they are the pioneers of epic doom metal together with Manila Road. And in this year they came back after so many years, 30 years and even more. And I'm speaking about Kirith Ankle, and their great new album Forever Black. Great album. Also the mastermind of the American band Night Demon, he was the man that he pushed this band for their comeback. Now a great album also of power metal or heavy metal with Judas Priest influences, and to speak about Primal Fear from Germany and their new album Metal Commando. Great album with an awful, of course, cover, but great album of power heavy metal. And now, one of my favorite progressive metal bands, and they came back after so many years with their fifth album, and I'm speaking about Psychotic Waltz from United States and their new album, The God-Shaped Void. Also here they have some influences of Ozzy Osbourne, of the period of Osmosis, but it's a great album. Another very good release of black metal in this year from Sweden, and I'm speaking about the one-man band Fedra, and they played something as melodic black metal with influences of Burzum, especially from Philosophem album. And the album, it called it by the name, it's known by the name Six Voices Inside. Great album. And now let's speak about the 10 great albums of this year. So in the 10th place, another band that plays speed metal together with black metal influences, and I'm speaking about Butcher from Belgium. And also this is their second album, and by the name 666 Goats Carry My Chariot. Great speed metal or speed thrash black metal album. And now another band from Scotland, Alestorm. And Alestorm, we know them as pirate metal, okay, but in this year they made a great album, Curse of the Crystal Coconut. A very great album. Also, they had the guts to make a hip-hop rap song, Tortuga, with some new metal influences. Here you can listen also influences from System of a Down, another band that came back in this year, not with an album. Also, I will have to speak about Mr. Bungle that also came back in this year. So we can have listing here some influences of nu metal, of Slipknot, of System of a Down, and also some black metal influences inside their heavy power metal music of them. And now, one of the greatest Greek epic power metal releases of this year, of a new band, but they are not so new because they exist for many years, but only this year they succeed to come with their first debut album, and I'm speaking about the band Sacred Outcry. They play a very great epic power metal style with warlord influences. Also, their singer, the Greek singer Yannis Papadopoulos, is the singer of the Finnish band Beast in Black. And the album is known by the name Damned for All Time. Someone that he likes power metal, or someone that he likes, for example, epic metal, he has to find them. And for me, until now, the greatest for all thrash metal albums of the year. And this is not the Testament album, and not even the Sepultura or the Sodom album. And I'm speaking about Onslaught from England. Onslaught with their new album, Generation Antichrist. Here they have also some influences of Slayer, but they are great with this new album. Another band from United States, also epic power metal with some Blind Guardian influences, and I'm speaking about Judicator and their new album Let There Be Nothing. Great album. They took the story of Belisarius, of the greatest Byzantine army leader, and this album is great, very very great, epic power metal. And until now, for me, the greatest black metal release, and there were also many in this year. And I'm speaking about also another one man's band from Denmark, and his album. First of all, the band Avski, and his album Of the Zeg Drummer Mig Dodd, something like that. If I'm not sure, also this is his second album. Great black metal, atmospheric black metal, and also we can say that they are very close to DSBM, Depressive Suicidal Black Metal. And now, for me, one of the greatest epic metal albums of this year, the second album of Eternal Champion from United States, and their new second album, Ravening Iron. So great album. I like it so much, and for me is in the same level as their debut, the Armor of Ire. Great epic metal album. Also, I listed here some Thin Lizzy influences inside one of their songs. Great album. And now in the third place, the new Paradise Lost, the gothic metal leaders from England, and their new album Obsidian. Second place, I'm speaking about one of my favorite bands from Finland, Enslaved, and we know them that they play something between melodic death metal, folk metal. In the beginning they had some black metal influences. Today they have some power metal influences inside their music. Great band with a great album by the name Thalassic. Thalassic also comes from the Greek word thalassa, that it means sea. And many songs here are for this, the concept of the sea. Great album. And in the first place, one band from Lithuania, and in this year they came with their third album, and I'm speaking about Romuvus and their third album, The Baltic Crusade. Also, they speak here about the wars of the Baltic people against the Crusades. Here we have a very great album and band of pagan Viking folk metal with a very good way. Great album, and for me this is the album that I listen more inside this year. Romuvus and their third album, The Baltic Crusade. And some words about the albums that I didn't like this year, unfortunately, my big disappointments. First of all, Traveler from Canada, and they play a very in their first album 1 year before, in 2019, they made a great debut album, but unfortunately in this year they came with this second album, Termination Shock, and except of the two last songs, This Deep Space and Terra Exodus, I didn't like so much the album, unfortunately. Another disappointment was the new Havoc album by the name V or 5. Okay, this is not the way that we know Havoc. Even I prefer the new Warbringer album that also came out in this year. And even the biggest disappointment of all, the new Nightwish album by the name Human Nature. And yes, I know that today they play even more symphonic metal, and I liked very much their last album. But in this album, they're not symphonic metal, they are symphonic pop, unfortunately. This is the biggest disappointment for me for this year. So, from Israel and from Jerusalem, stay metal and stay heavy.